What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday morning. Welcome. Good to see everybody here. It is, you know what, James, you just gave me the weather. Let me check and see what we got going on here in San Diego today. San Diego, it is 62, but it's supposed to be 71, so that's not bad. James says I'm loud and clear. That's good. Yep, a doodle, chicky doodle. I already hit the like button. Man, you got such a good attitude. I love that you're in here, James. Love having you here, buddy. Welcome, everybody. This training is to help you guys start, run, and grow online businesses, and we cover all kinds of stuff from ads to emails to sales pages. Today, I'm going to talk about coaching. I never teach on anything I haven't done. So, you know, anything I'm teaching on, guys, feel free to ask questions on it. I love getting your questions. I love getting your comments. Really makes it more interactive for me too, okay? And lets me know I'm actually talking to somebody. So when you do that, I really appreciate it. But today I'm going to talk about coaching. I've done it. I've had some real experience in it. My last coaching job I did, I was paid $2,000 an hour to the tune of $66,000, which was not bad. And I'll tell you how I got to that stage, and I'll kind of fill you in on all that. If you're interested in selling services, you know, like coaching, this would be the video for you. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. So important that you do that. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I do a new video or I go live. That way you don't miss out. Have you done any coaching? You know, put some comments in there if you've done coaching, or you've tried to do coaching, or you've been coached before, or you've heard of coaching. Anything to do with coaching, put that in the comments section. If you're on live, you can chat with me, you can ask questions. If you're watching this later on, you can put it in the comments section below. I'll swing back by and check out all your comments there, and we can talk a little bit more. So coaching, you know, I got introduced to this because Frank Kern used to do it. And I thought, well, you know what? I bet I could do that. And this was probably 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I can't remember. I lose track of time. Probably 3 years ago. I don't know. COVID is like you missed that whole year, didn't you? It's like we don't even count the COVID year. Ooh, I'm not supposed to say that. We don't count the illness year. We don't do that. I don't know why we can't say that, but for some reason you get demonetized if you say that word. So I didn't say that word. I'm erasing it. Yeah, so I thought I wanted to do it, and I thought it was pretty cool. But what I've done today is I've kind of put together a list of things you need to do if you want to do coaching. Don't feel like you don't have the right to coach. Anybody who is alive and is maybe an adult or maybe even teenagers because they've got some other skills is certainly qualified to coach people on whatever. You know, I coach people on how to, you know, start running, grow businesses online, but you know, maybe you're a chef, maybe you're a life coach, maybe you're an attitude coach, you know, any experience that you've come up with. You know, I thought it was really funny. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus or something like that. That couple coached people on marriages, and they collectively had been married 7 times themselves. And when they were asked about that, they said, well, how can you coach people on marriages because you've been married 7 times? And they basically replied, well, we have a lot of experience. We have a lot of experience. So yeah, okay. So you can coach. Oh yeah, James wants to know, Siddharth, how's that business coming? You haven't filled us in on that. What is that business? You haven't told us. We want to know what's going on with that. All right, let me get a sip here. My slogan for the day right there. So the first thing we got to do is kind of get organized, okay, if we're going to do some coaching. And I would say the first thing you want to do is kind of figure out the difference between what your clients really want and what they need, because they don't really know what they need. You know, you as a coach have to really guide them, and don't think that you're going to be able to get on calls and just answer questions with them. You're not. You're going to have to get some organization. You're going to have to get a game plan. You're going to have to assign tasks to them. Coaching is a cool thing to do, and you know, I'll talk to you about, you know, what I charged and how I charged, but it does take a lot of organization on your part. You're going to have to do the majority of the organization and work. So you know, what you can do is you could gather some people and ask them a question. Maybe you've got a list. And you can ask them questions like, you know, what is the one problem that you're facing right now? What is the issue that you're having? Let's say if they're starting, running, and growing businesses, what is that one issue? What is the one goal you're having a hard time reaching? You know, if they're trying to get all these goals, what's the biggest one? If you could have a magic wand, ask them this, if you could have a magic wand and change something about your life, what would it be? What would you like to do? In other words, when you're coaching somebody, it's to get them to a certain point. How do you think I can help you as a coach? Ask them that. What would you spend to work with a coach? Ask them those questions. Now, I'm not that big on that question because I charge a really high amount of money and nobody wants to spend what I charge. But mostly mine would be corporations now, and I don't even want to do that anymore. It's not for me right now at my stage, but I think it's great for a lot of people. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went through that. Do you prefer in-person intensives or group coaching? You can do group calls. Like I'm doing a group call right now and I'm coaching you guys. So yeah, that's going on. You can ask them, are you more interested in long-term coaching, short-term coaching? When I did my coaching, it was a minimum 6 months, minimum, because I knew it would take 6 months for people to get anywhere. So, if you didn't want to sign up for 6 months, you weren't serious. I didn't really want you as a client. So you got to keep all these things in mind when you choose your online coaching expertise. Selling your coaching. Oh my goodness, that's the tough part, right? One of the most challenging parts is actually selling coaching. Now, I had my people set up in advance when I was selling coaching because they had to fill out an application. And in this application, it asked them what they had accomplished, what they had done, do they have credit issues? If they had credit issues or, they owed a lot of money to other people, I didn't even talk to them. I wouldn't even, interview them to be a client. They had to be pretty stable. I had to, I asked them what kind of income did they have now? If they were making $20,000 a year, they were not going to be a candidate for my coaching because of what I charged. It was impossible for them to pay me. So I didn't even want to talk to those people. So I had this application process where if you were interested in coaching, you went through the application process first. And I had that form set up online. And then if they passed that, then I would actually talk to them one-on-one for 30 minutes and I would tell them what they would get. I would also let them know, I think this is really important, guys, when you're selling your coaching, right up front, you want to say, hey, I'm going to talk to you today. And before I actually set that appointment, I would say to them, I'm going to set up an appointment with you. I'm going to set up one appointment to interview you to see if we're a good match. During that interview process, at the end, we'll decide if we're going to be a good match or not. But I need you to have all decision makers on that call, and I will not even entertain talking to you after that call if you don't want to make a decision that day. So please come prepared to make a decision that day. And then when I would start the call, I would say, once again, Bob, Tom, Frank, whatever their name was, I would say, this is the only conversation we'll have unless we decide to work together. I don't do any type of presentation with somebody to where they say, well, let me think about it, let me talk to my wife, let me talk to somebody. You'll need to make a decision today. Is that fully understood? Do you understand that? And if they couldn't agree to that, I wouldn't even go into my presentation. There's no point. I'm not going to waste my time. I talked to them one time for an interview, and then I let them know at the end if I want to take them on as a coaching client or not. And of course, they let me know if they want to work with me too. But that's how I did it. That way you don't waste all your time talking to people and say, well, let me think about it. Why don't you call me back next week? Why don't you call me back? I never called anybody back ever. I turned down about 70% of the people that I talked to. About 30% I would offer, for them to be one of my coaching clients. Now, when you first get started, here's the problem you're going to have. It's going to be confidence. Every person who starts coaching thinks, do I have the right to do this? Should I do this? Here's the truth. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do coaching. The reality is you just got to be 2 steps ahead of your client. You got to know more than what they know. As long as you know more than what they know, you're qualified. I mean, that's it. What's an expert? An expert is anybody who knows more than the person they're teaching. That's it. It's really that simple. So if you want to make good money doing this. Now, my last client was a credit card processing company. They paid me $66,000. I worked for them, 11 hours a month? I think 11 hours a month. So it came out to about $2,000 an hour. And I helped them, promote their company. So the next thing you're gonna say to yourself, well, I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough experience. So my question to you right now is, how much is enough experience? I know 17 and 18-year-olds that are amazing at e-commerce. They've only been doing it 2 or 3 years. They have enough experience. I know people in their 70s, who have not gotten any experience because they've done the same wrong things their entire life. But you got to start somewhere. So when you're coaching guys, don't worry about if you're qualified or not, because that's going to hurt your confidence. Don't worry if you have enough experience or not. The other thing is the assumption barrier. We put these assumptions on ourselves what a traditional therapist or doctor or recruiter or trainer should be, and there is no traditional anything in coaching. It's whatever you want it to be, whatever you decide you want to teach somebody. That's all it actually is. So understand that, up front. The assumptions around coaching are that it's either corny or a waste of money or whatever. This stigma is actually creating an opportunity for selling coaching. In your marketing, speak directly to your clients through the Fear of Coaching website. Also care. You got to care about the people. This is super important. I always wanted my clients to get results. I wanted to see results. The only way they were going to get results is if they did work, though. I didn't do the work for them. I assigned the work to them. And that's something else you want to be real careful about. It's a real blurred line between doing stuff for people and telling people how to do stuff. Let me get another sip here real quick. So this is why a lot of coaches get burnt out, is because they try to do the work for the people. You're not working for them. You are giving them the knowledge they need to get the work done on their own. So that's what I did. I said, these are the things you need. This is how you did it, or this is how you do it. I want you to do this, and then next week when I talk to you, I want you to have these things accomplished. It was really that simple. You got to be honest about it. You got to say, hey, I'm not doing the work for you. Not doing it. Okay? I'm teaching you how to do this stuff. You got to be willing to work, because if I did it for you, you're not learning anything. I'm not coaching you. You're hiring me as a freelancer. That's a whole different deal. That's not coaching. And I think that's where a lot of people really get tripped up. So how do you start making money by selling coaching? Well, the maximum offer for free that you should do is maybe a 30-minute session. Okay? Never more than 30 minutes. And that normally was my presentation. And I had a PDF presentation where I would go through, PowerPoint presentation where I would go through all the steps of what I did, what my experience was and all that. I had testimonials in there. I had written ones. I had video testimonials of people who had worked with me. And if you don't have them yet, you can go to people who know that you're good at one particular thing and say, hey, would you do a testimonial that I'm qualified? So talk to some of those people and say, hey, do a 10, 15 second testimonial that I'm good at e-commerce, I'm good at SEO, I'm good at whatever it is you're good at. Okay, get some people to do that for you. Another thing you can do is give content. Give overall content. Like I give overall content. So if somebody wants to know I'm a good coach, they can just go to my YouTube channel. I'm like, hey, knock out I think I had yesterday 891 videos. Look at those videos and see if I'm qualified. Just watch those things and you can figure out if I'm qualified or not. James Breen, how do you select a topic for coaching? Really, it's anything that you have expertise in. Coaching is a multifaceted thing. I mean, James, just by the fact that you've lived a long time, you could be a life coach. I mean, just by that fact. You've lived a life and you've been successful. You could do coaching on health. I mean, you're what, in your 80s and you're healthy, or I think you are. I don't know. You tell me. You told me one day you could do pull-ups, so I assume you're pretty healthy. So it's whatever you want to do. Maybe it's cooking. Maybe you want to coach people on, family values. Maybe you want to coach people on parenting. I could do coaching on parenting. I was a single dad. I raised 2 kids. They're both grown now. One's 27, works at the Cleveland Clinic in the heart-lung transplant department. My daughter is grown. She has a 3-year-old, 4-year-old boy and twin 1-year-olds, and I raised those 2 kids. So I could talk about parenting if I wanted to. I've done that. Okay. I could talk about running Facebook ads. I have a course on Facebook ads. I could coach people on Facebook ads. I could coach people on e-commerce. I sold millions of dollars of products online. So anything that you've got any experience in, you don't have to be the best at it to be a coach. I think that's the big misnomer, is that you got to be the best at it. I remember in the late 80s, I went up to LA and I heard a talk by Lou Holtz, the famous football coach. And he's this little tiny short guy with these thick glasses. He couldn't play football. All right. He just couldn't play football, but he was one of the best football coaches in the country. Why? Because he knew the game. He knew about it. He knew what to tell people to do. And if they had the physical attributes, they could go do it. So you don't even have to be able to do it yourself. Now, I would say selling and making money online, I would say, yeah, I would say you'd want to be able to do it yourself. But some things you don't if you're just good at coaching people at it, you know? Now, some of the best boxing coaches, are not boxers. I mean, they know how to do it, but they weren't world champions or anything like that. So that's all you got to do. Now, I can tell you, in the beginning, you're going to have this fear about how much do I charge? How much do I charge? I know in the beginning what I did is you got an hour a week, but I only did it once a week. Okay, so you got an hour a week, and I charged $495. And I thought that was a lot of money, and I had way underpriced myself. So then I went to, I think, $9.95 a month. You still got that 1 hour a week type thing. And you could send me emails. You could send me, I think, 4 or 5 emails a week, something along those lines, with questions. And nobody ever did. I never got very many emails, very few emails. People didn't do that. They knew that if they sent me an email, I was going to assign more work to them, so maybe that's why. And then I got to, I think, $14.95 a month. Same thing, 1 hour a week. And then I was at $25.95 a month. And I was making decent money. I had several clients. And then I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this because some of these people aren't doing what I'm telling them to do. And that was frustrating for me, but you got to expect that. They didn't work as hard as I worked, and that was frustrating. So then I started charging, crazy money. The credit card company, I said, all right, 90 days, $66,000. Because I figured that's what it would take away from my business. I could make that, in that 11 hours a month. And I think I undercharged. I really do, as crazy as that sounds. And then after that, I decided there was no amount of money that somebody could pay. I mean, maybe if somebody was paying me $20,000 an hour, then it would make up for what I could lose in my business. But I mean, every hour in my business is like, I have people contact me all the time and say, well, hey, do a video for me, do a 10-minute video on my product. And I'm thinking, well, what's that worth? I mean, if I do a 10-minute video for their product, it's going to make them money, month after month after month for their product. Wouldn't it be smarter to make a video about, my content and my products and me make money month after month after month? Because they're only going to pay me one time. So now it's like, for me, coaching is not the thing to do. Not saying it's not good for you. It may be a great thing for you to do. So you've got to decide, what are you going to do? Are you going to do, what is coaching package going to look like for you? Decide on your coaching package. Are you going to meet with them weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? How often are you going to do it? And then you can decide on what you're going to charge. Will there be additional support for emails and stuff like that, like what I did? Are you going to do that? Will your sessions, progress? Do you have like a progression of them? What are you going to do? Do you have a path that you're going to go down? Is it going to be customized to each individual, or is there a certain coaching type thing that you're going to go through for everybody and it's pretty much the same? Is there a theme for each session? There better be. I will tell you that, because they won't come up with anything. You got to do it. But it's important that you do that. Now, I said it was 6 months minimum. If you want to do 3 months, you can do 3 months, but I would definitely never say, hey, let's try out at a month and see how we do, and we'll take it from there. I wouldn't do it. Because the thing is, you're going to constantly be chasing more and more clients in doing your coaching. So minimum 3 month. I did minimum 6 month to do that. And basically, selling your coaching is selling yourself. And you do have to talk about yourself. And I know some people feel uncomfortable about that. But you got to talk about yourself. Let me look at some of these questions here. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention. Yes, I have great health, and that's because living a healthy life is my priority. Man, James, you're hitting on all cylinders, buddy. You really are. How many have you fired along the way? You talk about coaching clients, and if so, it was two. One was a company and one was an individual. Where what happens is I'm going to commit to my 6 months, whatever it is, I'm going to commit to that. And at the end of that, like a month before, if I want to keep working with that person, I would say, hey, I'm going to have a spot open. If you want to continue, we can continue. If you don't want to continue, that's fine. But the ones I didn't want to work with, I didn't really fire them. What I said was, okay, our contract's up. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. So that's basically what I did. A lot of people dealing with imposter syndrome. Yeah. Guys, don't coach somebody if you really aren't good at something. I see that happen a lot. Somebody will go on Amazon and they'll sell $5,000 worth of stuff, and they'll become an Amazon e-commerce coach. Amazon e-commerce coach at $5,000 in sales is not it. I mean, I think you need to do hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in sales, and currently be doing it. Okay, if you sold a product and it took off and you made some money, but you couldn't make any other products work on Amazon, you're not qualified to be a coach on Amazon. You're just not qualified. When I was coaching people, I still sold products online, and that's what I was teaching them how to do. And I still sell products online because that's more profitable. I mean, I woke up this morning and I walked from my bedroom to the couch, and I looked down and I had made $500 on a sale, okay, on e-commerce. I walked from my bedroom to the couch, and that was like in 10 seconds, okay? So I make money on e-commerce every single day. I make money on digital products every single day. I'm qualified to do that because that's what I do, you know? James, you know, you traveled across the country. You could probably coach people on the best restaurants or how to find good restaurants, or you could coach people on how to travel or how to safely travel. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you could coach people on that they're interested in. My doctor and I have a great relationship. Dr. Agi hasn't called me any, and I haven't been to his office in 4 years. Well, good. I mean, I do my yearly checkup. I do that. I think that's important. Yeah, I mean, if you stay healthy, you know, my doctor will call me just to shoot the crap. I mean, he's a cool guy. He's actually the physician for the San Diego State sports teams. So he's a really cool guy. I'm blown away by people who call themselves coaches but have no experience or knowledge but sell a bill of goods. Yeah, Paul, it's because I guess it's easy to do. I had a person that used to come to my live meetup, and she decided that she wanted to coach people. And I met with her at a Starbucks one day, and she says, look, I just want to charge $1,500 a month per person, and I want to get 10 to 20 people and coach them. I said, on what? And she says, on how to be successful online. I said, well, you haven't done anything online. She goes, well, I know what to do. I said, okay. So she is still out there now. This was about 4 years ago. She got a lot of fancy pictures taken, and pictures of her at fancy restaurants and hotels, and her hair was all done and makeup and all that, and she talked these success things, but she literally had no experience on how to be successful. Now, she did that for a while, and now I went and looked at all of her stuff recently, and she hasn't posted a video in like a year, and she hasn't posted much online in the past months, and it kind of died out. And it died out because here's what happens. You're going to build a reputation. That's the other thing I would tell you, why it's really important to pick who your coaching clients are. If you pick a client that is lazy, that's not going to do anything, that's not going to really achieve their goals, they're going to make you look bad. And I would always tell my people that. I'm going to say, look, you got to work really hard because I want you to be super successful because I need you for a testimonial. And if you're not successful, then I don't have a testimonial and it makes me look bad. So I'm sure what happened with her is she probably talked some people into doing her coaching, but they never got anywhere, they never did anything, and the word gets out that, hey, yeah, I had her coach me, but I wasn't successful. You know, that happens. That happens. So I don't want anybody that I coach to not be successful. I've got a real vested interest in it because it's my reputation. Okay, if you're not successful, you don't do good, you don't make money, and I was the one who taught you, what does that say about me? So I really worry about that stuff. And if you're these, you know, fake guru people, you're going to burn out because the word's going to get around. And you say, well, no, there's 7 billion people in the world. It's tough. I'm telling you, once you get a bad reputation, a few people post some stuff about you, about wasting, you know, their money and their time, you know, that's going to be your legacy. So don't go out there and coach people if you can't get them results. You got to get them results. So it is pretty much selling yourself. I had one guy who was great and said to do this or find another coach. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, if the people don't do what you say, you know, then, you know, you're wasting their time and, you know, they're wasting your time, basically. Let's see what else we got in here. Richard Brown, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Never felt an area for me coaching, but do in other group recontest and making big lists. You just never know, and we all have strengths and knowledge which somebody else needs. That's 100% true. And it's like so hard to convince ourselves. I remember being young, and I was thinking my biggest obstacle was the fact that I was young. you know. And now as I get older, I probably think the biggest obstacle is being older. But the point is, there are no obstacles. There are no obstacles. It's just, if you want to coach somebody, just make sure you're better at the thing that they are. Okay, you don't have to be the best e-commerce person in the world. Okay, you don't. I know, you know, Tony Robbins is a funny example, because Tony Robbins actually worked for Jim Rohn, promoting Jim Rohn's seminars, and Jim Rohn was a great motivational speaker, and Tony Robbins went out and did the same thing and promoted stuff. Now, he did study and he learned stuff, but he's never really sold anything but his own stuff. It's kind of interesting, and he teaches people how to sell. Now, he is an example of somebody who really didn't do it, but he's good at motivating people, okay, and he gets some results. But specifically, he couldn't tell you what to do and get up every day and do stuff. That's not his expertise, I don't think, anyhow. You give a lot, JR. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that, buddy. I only try to teach you guys stuff I've done. You know, if I've done it, then I'll teach it. Like, I'm not teaching YouTube ads right now. I'm doing YouTube ads, and I'm getting really good at them. But I'm not to the degree where I'm getting the results I want, to where I would say, hey, let me tell you exactly how to do YouTube ads. YouTube ads are very difficult. Now, I did do Facebook ads. I did a course on that because I learned how to do that, got good results. Facebook is really jinky though, where it's kind of up and down, and when they post stuff and they cancel people's accounts and do all that stuff, so I don't know, they aggravate me. So guys, put any comments you have. This is our live Q&A, so if you guys have any questions about coaching, about how much to charge, about what you should do, put that in that chat section. If you like this training, put that in the chat section too. If you don't like it, put that in the chat section. If you've got ideas for me to teach you guys, this is your opportunity to say, hey JR, this is what I want to learn. Do training on this, and I'll do it. I mean, it's really that simple. As long as I know it, okay, as long as I know it. And some things I'll actually go research a little bit for you too. And I want you to do this every day. Let me bring my screen down so I can actually see myself. I always have different screens in front of me here. All right. So what you guys got? You got anything else? It's nearing the end of the session. I've got an appointment at 10:45 with somebody we have to have come in and check out our pets for us and help us out with the pets a little bit. So I've got that appointment I got to get to, but I got a couple minutes. If you guys got anything, hit me up. Feel free. My camera lighting, I still don't think it's real good. You? Nah, camera lighting is still not perfect. I got to work on that. I think it's like too bright here or over here. One of these lights. Maybe that one's too bright. I got to work on that. So I guess I got nothing else. You guys got anything else you want to give me? YT YouTube Masterclass, please. I fully agree with Facebook. Enough to make you want to scream. Yes, I mean, Facebook. You're gonna lose your audience. I'm telling you, Facebook. You're gonna lose your audience. You're treating people horribly. And yeah, I will be doing some stuff on YouTube. I do have some free videos on YouTube. As far as doing a course on it, I don't have a big enough channel yet. You know, maybe when I get to 10,000 or 100,000 subscribers, I will. I am making money on it, so I could teach somebody how to make money on it, but I haven't made enough to where I would feel qualified to teach people how to make money. There's still a few things I'm learning about YouTube every single day. And I watch a ton of YouTube videos, and I mean, I break them down. It's like, what did they do in the first 10 seconds of this video? What did they do in the next 10 seconds? What did they do in the next 10 seconds? What kind of music do they have? How close is the camera? How far away is it? How much B-roll did they put in there? I mean, when you start watching videos on YouTube that are successful, they look really easy, but when you start to break it down as a film editor, and I edit a lot of my stuff, there's a lot of detail in there that you don't even realize. There's sound effects, there's certain words that come on the screen. There's a lot to making an engaging video. There's talking about what's going to happen later on, or showing what's already happened at the beginning of the video, and then showing how you got to that point. So when you're making YouTube, man, it's an art. It's a real art. I mean, I will spend, and I know, who was it? Some big YouTuber said they'll spend 2 or 3 days on just coming up with a title for a video. 2 or 3 days. They'll come up with 50 or 60 titles and whittle it down and keep changing it. I do spend probably an hour or two on each title for a video, and it takes that much time to really just, you know, plug it into TubeBuddy. And guys, if you don't have TubeBuddy, there's a link below. It's a free tool. It'll help you get your videos SEO'd. It'll help you with your titles. It'll help you with your meta tags. And there's a free link down there for TubeBuddy in the description after this video is over with. Okay, so if it's still live, it won't be there. Once it's not live anymore, it will be there. And there's a paid version you can get. I think it's like 30% off or something like that. But anyhow, you need to have a really good title, because the title is what people are already searching for. So you don't, on YouTube, you don't say, well, I want to do a video on this. What you do is you go out there and say, what are people searching for that I have knowledge on, and I'll make a video to fit that demand. That's how it works. It's just the opposite of what you would think. Are you currently doing ads on Facebook or using YouTube exclusively? James, I am exclusively on YouTube right now, and I have a lot of ads. I had a guy get mad at me the other day. He said, I keep seeing your ad constantly, and I'm mad. I don't want to see that ad anymore. Sorry. It's the way it works. I can't do anything about that. That's what we need. Read YouTube. Yeah, I know. Don't wait, please. Well, I just want to give you, I want to be thorough enough, okay? I don't want to sit there and, I don't want to be a fake guru, okay? I want to be thorough enough. I'm getting there. Matter of fact, I'll be, what do they call it? Fame Bit, probably by the end of this month. Fame Bit is where you have over 5,000 subscribers, and you can take on sponsors. Now, I don't really want to take on sponsors. I might, I don't know, I might. You say one thing and then next week you do something else and people say, well, you didn't say you were going to do that. So yeah, it can happen. Peace and blessings always, everyone. Thanks, JR, for sharing your generosity, sharing your hard-earned expertise. No problem, man. I'm inundated with YouTube and video software for this and that, thumbnails, etc. Overwhelmed. Yeah, we don't really use much software for thumbnails. The simpler you keep them, the better. I'm even testing out some thumbnails with no words on them, just images. And some of those are even doing better than the ones I have words on. So sometimes we overthink this, and people come out with all these special softwares that we need to use, and you don't even need them. You know, you could use Canva for free and make your thumbnails and do just as well as some of these softwares. So I wouldn't waste your money on them. The only software that I really recommend for everybody is Kartra, and I will have a link in the description for Kartra. It's an all-in-one marketing tool, and in Kartra, the cool thing about it is you only pay for one software, but you get like 8 different softwares. If you use my link, you can watch a video that's free, and if you decide to get Kartra, I think it's like $1 trial, something like that. So I would check that out. So that's what I've got today. I think that's good. I think it's a good day. Have a blessed weekend, gang. Love this tribe and interaction. See you Monday. Okay, Paul, that's cool. I will be back Monday. I won't be here tomorrow. I mean, I'll be here, but I won't be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I won't be on here doing a live video. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys here. I really do. Don't forget to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I do a new video. I really thank you guys for being here. You're awesome. If you're watching this after the fact, please give me a thumbs up. All you guys on this call, please give me a thumbs up. I see some in there. I don't see enough. I need a thumbs up. If you haven't given me that thumbs up, let me see that number change. I'm looking for that number to change. I feel like I'm Jerry Lewis doing the telethon. Let's see that number change, okay? But give me a thumbs up if you would, guys. I would really appreciate it. You guys have an awesome weekend. I will see you Monday morning at 9 a.m. Free training, no charge, just fun training.